Hey guys, how are you doing? It's officially been 2 weeks since we first reviewed the RPM80 Pro Real Game Changer. Okay, so we'll go about talking about the performance, the issues, and especially the discoveries that we found out during this time. Okay, so let's go about the performance. Okay, let's go with the total puffs. Okay, on this photo, you get to see the .17, and we got 290 puffs. And in this photo, we used the .4 and we got 665 puffs out of it, okay? And during this time, of course, for every puff, we made sure that the battery is at 100%. And the drag that we did was about 1.5 to 2 seconds, okay? And that's how much puffs we got. 290 for .17 and 665 for .4. Okay, now let's talk about the issues that we saw on this photo. That's the .17, and you saw how much leaks we got. All right, we figured out it's kind of maybe we were having the wrong juice on this one, because if you would look at the .17 coil, there are big side holes gaping here. Okay, so what we did is kind of like, we switched it up. So we took a 70-30 juice, and on this photo you get to see that's the only leak we got. So why? We're talking about here the viscosity or the thickness of the juice. A 40-60 is not as thick as a 70-30. Why? Because the VG, that carries the sweetness, the sugar. So the higher the VG, the thicker it is. It's more viscous, And if you would look at this photo now, we use the .4, but we use the regular 40-60. There's absolutely no leaks. And you basically, the admins here, Bong and Chris, can testify to that, because every time we go down and, vape, I show them that, hey, look at this, there's no leaks. And one of the things that we found out is that if you fill up the tank, you can either on the RGC or the RPM tank cartridge, if you fill it up to about here, you're not gonna get any leaks at all. At first we were filling it up as humanly possible, but we were getting leaks. So when we found out you just fill it up to here, this line, you're good. And then when you vape, just make sure that if this is the horizontal line, your juice is you're still good to vape with the juice up to this line right here. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. All right. Another thing that I talked about last week was the battery door. Okay, the battery door. That really worries me a lot. Here, check it out. Boing. There you go. It's open. And I know last week I talked about this one, like kind of like being scarily flimsy. Look at this now. It's moving side to side. It's moving side to side. The hinge really worries me a lot more now. And this is very key to make sure that you have a working vape. But it's too bad. All right. And then one of the things that I talked about as well was the rubber, about how we get to open it, and worried about it's 90 degrees, not much space. And then somebody responded in the post that, yeah, you know what, you can actually move it to about 90 degrees. I'm like, cool. There's always different ways in cutting vegetables, but this worried me now. See how precariously twisted it is now? It's twisted. So there's nothing wrong if you would like to do it this way, but in terms of longevity, either or is scary. Because this one, you have this, because there's a rubber ball connected down here, so we're kind of like twisting it. But if you open it this way, then you're still kind of scary because of the little space that we have back here. But other than that, whatever floats your boat, I suggest remove the coil and fill it up to here, and you're still good. remove it and fill it up to here. All right, and one of the things that we discovered is that with the 0.17, okay, with the 0.17, it's really flat. The flavors is just too flat. It's too loose. The 0.17 is rated up to 40 to 80, all right? It's just too flat. I adjusted the airflow control, it became too hot. Okay, I mean, the flavors intensified, but it just became too hot, you know? So I kind of like figured to the notion that, you know, what I did was like I put it about 20 and really closed it, you know, almost like 80% closed, right? And then I did drag, which is still not bad, but then again, it's defeating the purpose of the 0.17. But the 0.17 for me, yeah, you put in a 70-30 and do an 80 watts, and then yeah, go ahead. I think this is just really for cloud, okay? But what I would also discover is that with the 0.4s, I'll let you listen to this, okay? I'll let you listen to this to see what I'm to understand what I'm trying to say. All right. The 0.4 does not have airflow controls. It only relies on these two vents. These two vents are of different sizes, if you would see. The top vent here is wider than the one at the bottom. But here, listen to this. I will not cover either. Right? Now, I'll cover the one at the bottom. Listen to it. Now, I'll cover the one on top. It's rather interesting that despite of the 0.4s not having an airflow control, I found that I honestly prefer that I cover this one and leave this one open. This one is a lot tighter. There's a little bit more heat despite of being on 20 watts, and the flavors are more intense, okay? But having both of them open, it kind of like, it's like semi-flat, but it's not as the flavors were not as intense, okay? So basically, my final rating with this one, especially with the battery now, I still give it about 6, 7. But until I get to see the adapter, maybe, you know, other than that, I still stick to 6 and 7. The leak issues, we got to fix that. So, but other than that, yeah, I'll still give it a 6 or a 7. Especially the flavors at the 0.17 coil is just too flat. And this one I have to really adjust just to get the flavor, the flavor that I am looking for. But then again, you know what? Whatever floats your boat, go for it. There's no wrong setting for everybody because everybody's preference is different. But other than that, that's the final review for the RPM80 Pro Real Game Changer. Any questions or comments, just put it down on the post. Alright? We'll see you again next time.